Hello, good day, students. So this is module 5. Module number 4 of general mathematics. So our topic is all about inverse function. In our explore part, we have an activity here which is entitled inverse of p. So for the direction, for each operation in the first column, this is the first column. Wait, this is the first column. Record the inverse operation in the second column. So this is the second column. So for example, add 8. So the inverse of addition is subtraction. So that's the inverse of this operation. How about this one? Multiply by 5. Okay, the inverse of multiplication is char. So muna inyo i-answer here and so on. So now let's go to firm up. So just a simple recall about one-to-one functions. We already discussed one-to-one functions in our last module. So one-to-one function, it is a function in which for each value of y in the range of f, there is just one value x in the domain of f such that y is equal to f of x. So in each value of y daw, there is only just one x lang dapat in the domain. So in other words, if f is 1-to-1, f is 1-to-1 if f of x sub 1 is equal to f of x sub 2, which implies x sub 1 is equal to x sub 2. So a function is 1-to-1 if no horizontal line intersects its graph more than just once. So the last module kato atong gikuan is vertical line test. So pa vertical. Now, in 1-to-1, we have horizontal line test. So i-test na to ang graph by using horizontal line. If nag-intersect siya duha, look at this example letter A. So kung nag-intersect siya kaduha 1 and 2, so that is not a 1-to-1 function. Sa B, look at this one. So nag-intersect siya kay sa aning line. So that is 1-to-1 function. And also this one also, letter C, nag-intersect siya kay isa and it is 1-to-1. So for the second example, the table relates a school X. Do the number of delegates in Palarong Pampalakasan Y in the year 2014. Does this relation define a 1-to-1 function? So the school here sa first column, ang atuang X is ABC, BPC, BSU, UPB, DLSC. And the number of delegates that's not delegated, delegates, which is atuang Y, we have 10, 31, 20, 10, and 40. So the solution, the table relating a school X. So ang atuang school nga gidenote as X, do the number of delegates. Y does not define a 1-to-1 function. Nga naman, wala siya nag-define as 1-to-1 function because the value of 10, ang value nga 10, in the range, ang range na to is Y ha, always remember, Y na to is range of F, there is two values of X. So naay values doon kabuok which is si 10 and si 10 kay ABC o kay UPB. Since dapat man gingon is 1-to-1 lang dapat, unya naaman diri duha ka buok nga naka Y. Duha ka buok value sa Y. And is same. So, therefore we conclude that it is not a 1-to-1 function. So next, property of equality. So let x, y, and z be any real number. So first, addition property of equality. If x is equal to y, then x plus z is equal to y plus z. So equal values may be added on both sides of the equation. So ang gingon man gud niya is si x daw equal ni y. So inag si x plus ni z, same ra pud siya sa y plus ni z. For example, we have here ato ang x, wait, ato ang x is equal to 1. Ato ang y is equal to 1. Ato ang z is equal to 3. So ang gingon is x is equal to, wait, is equal to y. So x is equal to y. So 1 and 1 sila. So kung ato ang adan si x og 3 og z, so si y pod adan na to og z. So substitute the value 1 plus 3 is equal to 1 plus 3. So we have 4 and 4. Therefore, equal sila. So, mo na ang gikuan sa additive property of equality. Next, subtraction property of equality. So it says here, if x is equal to y, then x minus z is equal to y minus z. Equal values may be subtracted on both sides of the equation. So another example here. I-change na to siya into subtraction. Wait. Okay. So our x is 1, our y is 1, and our z is 3. So x is equal to y. So ang giingon dito is inag-subtract na to si x. Si x o si y both sides by z, or any number si z. Pero atong gibutang is 3 man here. So ato ang value sa z is 3. So 1 minus 3 and 1 minus 3, that is negative 2. 1 minus 3 here is also negative 2. Therefore, it is equal. So muna ato ang subtraction property of equality. Next, multiplication property of equality. So MPE. So if x is equal to y, then xz is equal to yz. So same ra gihapon. Wait, let's erase this one. Okay. So if x is equal to y daw, so kay multiply na to si x kay z, multiplied by z. Si y na pod i-multiply na to og sa z, sa value ni z. Substitute si 1 times 3. Wait, let's use this one. I-x na lang nato kay dili kay klaro. Ay, ano, close parenthesis. They are just the same. So what x times z, excuse me, x times z is equal to y times z. Substitute the value of x, which is 1. Value of z is 3, is equal to 1 times 3. So 1 times 3 is 3. And 1 times 3 is 3. Therefore, they are equal. Next, division property of equality. So if x is equal to y and z should not be equal to x, then x over z is equal to y over z. So it says here na equal po si x o si y. Both sides of the equation may be divided by the same non-zero real numbers. So kailangan ang atoang denominator nga z dili siya equal to 0. Kay nag-equal to 0 ang atoang z, kay mahimo siya indeterminate forms or it is undefined. Bawal siya nga ato ang denominator is 0. So, sample kani 1. So, x 1 over 3 is equal to 1 over 3. They're just the same. Next, just always remember, bawal ang z mag equal to 0. Yan naman eh. Mali ako nabutang. Anyways. Next. Substitution law. So if x plus y is equal to z and x minus y, then y plus y is equal to z or x plus y is equal to z. So x plus y is equal to z daw. So sige. Sample. So x plus y is equal to z, x plus y is equal to z. So itong z is 2. Okay, equal man daw sila. Sige, 2. So y plus y plus y is equal to z. Y. Okay, 1 man atong y plus 1 is equal to 2. 2 is equal to 2. Therefore, they are equal. Same as x plus x is equal to z. Substitute ra gyapon nimo 1 1 ra gyapon, it is equal. So that's it for the properties of equality. Let's go to inverse function. So a relation reversing the process performed by any function f of x is called inverse of f of x. So this means that the domain of the inverse in the range of the original function, and that the range of the inverse is the domain of the original function. So look at this. So the original function, ang x niya is 20, 30, 50, and 100. And ang y niya is 68, 86, 122, 212. E nag-inverse na to, ibalira na to ang value niya. Ang value sa y, mahimo siyang value sa x. Ang value sa x, mahimo siyang value sa y. Just like this illustration. Okay? If f is a one-to-one function, then the inverse of f denoted by f raised to the power of -1 is the function formed by reversing all the ordered pairs in f. Thus, f inverse, so ang pagbasa niya is f inverse is equal to the set of x and y is equal to the interval x, y such that x, y is in f. Okay? F inverse is equal to the intervals of x and y such that x and y is in f. That's it. So for the properties of the inverse function, if f inverse function exists, so first, f inverse is one-to-one function. F is also one-to-one. So the domain of f inverse is equal to range of f. If the range of f inverse, it is equal to the domain of f. So bali-bali lang nimo ang iyang kuan. So inverse god from the word inverse. So ibaliktad nimo. Okay? Inverse. Ibaliktad. Example 1. Find the inverse of the function described by the set of ordered pairs 0, -2, 1, 0, 2, 2, 3, 4, 4, 6. So the solution, ibali lang nato siya inverse. Imbis 0, -2, nahimo siya -2, 0. Imbis 1, 0, nahimo siya 0, 1, and so on. So next is example number 2. Find the inverse of the function f of x is equal to 3x plus 6. So to find the inverse of a function defined by an equation, we interchange the independent variable x in the dependent variable y. we know that f of x is equal to y. So always remember nga ang f of x is equal to y. Okay? So if our f of x is equal to 3x plus 6, so it's change na to ang f of x o y because they are just the same ha. So y is equal to 3x plus 6. So next is you are going to interchange x and y to find the f inverse. So we have here ang y na himo siyag x, ang x na himo siyag y. So we have x is equal to 3y plus 6. So next is solving for the new y. We obtained, so 3y plus 6, i-transpose na to si 6. Paingon daan eh. So kaning si 6, mahimo na siya og negative 6. So we have here 3y, mo na yung nahitabo, 3y minus x, ay 3i is equal to x minus 6. Since ang atuang y man ang gipangita, kailangan nato siya i-divide by 3. So divide nato by 3 si 3y, so divide by 3. So y is equal to, divide na po 3, x minus, mali ni. Sakto. Sakto di eh. Di mao katong mali nga part there sa ubos. So we have here over 3. So over 3 man, so si x na mo siya 1/3 x. Naman siya 1 diri. So 1/3 x. So minus si 6 divided by 3 na mo siya negative 2. So the answer is f inverse of x is equal to 1/3 x minus 2. Okay? Balik ka, si 3y, i-divide na to og 3, pati si x minus 6, divide og 3. So cancel si 3, na natay y na bilin. Kani si x, mahimo na siya og, kailangan siya over 3. Okay? Si 1x, kailangan siya 1 diha punuhay. So mahimo siya 1x over 3. 1 over 3 minus si 6 divided by 3 is equal to negative 2. So the answer is f inverse of x is equal to 1/3 x minus 6. So example number 3. Okay, f inverse of x is equal to x plus 6 over 5. So to find the domain of the and range of the inverse function, go back to original function. Then interchange ang domain and range of the original function. So isolve na to. Let's solve it. Let's solve it. What is the x plus 6? Okay. X plus 6 over 5 is equal to y. 5. Okay, so ato ibali na pod. So mahimo na ni siya og, kaya ang last na tong gibuhat ato, di ba, ga-cancel ta. So atong butangan ni siya over 5 po dire. So over 5, di ba, kay ga-cancel man ta ato ganiha mo na nahimo na lang siya y. So ana na siya. So na po na siya 5 daan eh. So ang nahitabo niya ana, ibalik na to, inag-inverse na to, mahimo siya 5y is equal to x plus 6. So kana. So ang ingon lang po last time is i-transpose. Transpose pa to? Wait ha. Diyon sa to. O transpose. So si 6, i-transpose na to, nahimo siya og negative. Wait. Nahimo siya og x is equal to 5y minus 6. So interchange na pag si x og si y. So may mo siya y is equal to 5x minus 6. So ang ato ang final kuan karon is f of x is equal to 5x minus 6. Kamo na isabot kay maglisod ko type I mean sulat. So muna iyahang original equation, sakto ba? Sakto, 5x minus 6. So we have here the original equation, which is 5x minus 6. So the original function's domain is a set of all real numbers. So the range is also set of real numbers. Thus, the domain in the range of f inverse is also the set of any real numbers. Kay, miski pag unsang number nga ato ikuan diri substitute sa x, mora gihapon wala dili mahimuog. I mean, pwede ra nato siya i-solve. Unlike sa kaning sa to dapit na example ha. Kani nga di ba ang giingon ang z should not be equal to 0. So kailangan atong kuanan dan example sa isa. Diba? So kailangan ang atuang sample diri ha 5x minus 5. So kani kailangan dili ma-equal to 0. So kailangan ang atuang x dili siya equal to negative 1. Okay, 5 times negative 1 is equal to negative 5. I know. 5 times 1. So dapat dili siya 1 dire ang value sa x. So 5 times 1 is equal to 5. 5 minus 5 is equal to 0. So muna siyang ma-equal to 0. So that is in indeterminate form or undefined. Okay? So dapat ato ang denominator dili siya equal to 0. Muna makita ato ang iyahang domain o range based po sa ilahang intervals. Na-discuss naman po na last time sa imuhang last module about sa pag-find sa iyahang domain and range. Okay. So di na nato na siya ibalik-balik pa. Okay, the domain and range is a set of all real numbers. Kay any numbers man i-substitute na to sa x, wala man Japon siya mahitabo, di man siya ma-undefined. And also this one, di man po siya ma-undefined. What the best term, undefined. Dili ma-undefined ang atuang equation kung substitute na to any numbers. Okay? If ato ang f of x may equal siya into 0, kani may equal siya into 0, di man gyapon na siya. Di man siya ma-consider as undefined kina ma-0 man siya. Di man siya over 0. Ang over 0 mo na siya ang undefined. Okay, galibog-libog lang ta sa tong self. Basta mo na to. Next, example 4, find the inverse of the function f, which has a set of 3, 2, negative 3, negative 1, negative 6, and 3, and also 6 and negative 1. So, interchange lang nato gyapon si 3 and 2, mabali siya ang 2 ug 3. Si negative 1 and negative 3, negative 1, ay si negative 3 and negative 1, may mo siya negative 1 and negative 3, and so on. So that's the inverse. However, notice that f inverse is not a function. Why? Because the first element, negative 1, is matched to two elements, which is the negative 3 and 6. So negative 3, there is a negative 3 and C, 6. As you can see, ang atuang negative 1, nakamatch niya duha. Na siya'y kabit. So that's why dili siya function. Na-discuss sa po ni last na itong module, so di natin maglisod ana. Next, example number 5. We have here f of x is equal to 2x plus 3. Same process last gani, di ani, same process. You're going to replace f of x with y. Tura, f of x na mo siya y. And then interchange na to si x og y. So interchange na mo siya og x, na mo siya 2y. Then substitute, transpose si negative si 3, na mo siya negative 3. That's why we have here 2y is equal to x minus 3. So divide by 2. So mali ni dire. Dire ang sayop ganiha. So divide by 2. So na cancel ang 2. So nahimo lang siya y is equal to x minus 3 over 2. So x minus 3 over 2. So ang ato ang f inverse is equal to x minus 3 over 2. Wala siya. Okay, example number 6. You're buying imported books from USA. As a result, you need to mail the payment. Recently, the exchange rate was $1 to 44 pesos. So you're going to complete the table by converting the US dollar into pesos. So to ang $1 daw is 44 pesos. So $1 is 44 pesos. Si 5 na to, 5, simple lang kaayo, i-multiply na to 44. So muna siya, and 10, i-multiply 44, 50, and so on. The second one is state the procedure performed. Okay. So our first, dara akong giingon, i-multiply na to og 44. 5 times 44 is equal to 20, and so on and so on. So the second one is to get the number of pesos when given the number of dollars, you're going to multiply the number by 44. So i-multiply na to si 1, ang dollar, by the value of our peso, which is 44. So inag-function ang gipangita dara, let P represent and chu, write the function daw. So we have here the function which is ang P na to is what? Denoted as the number of Philippine peso. So RP is denoted as the number of Philippine peso, and the 44 is the value of the peso. Okay, 44. And RD denoted as represent as the number of US dollar. Okay, the number of US dollar. So by using this formula, directly substitute the value of this one. Mo man siya si D. So substitute na to si D. So 44 times D, which is 1. With mo na siya natay 44. Substitute na po na to 44 times 5. Mo si D, natay 220. And so on. So next, write an equation that converts peso into dollar. Okay, converts peso daw into dollar. So we have here dollar. Ngano nakakuha tag ingon aning equation? Okay. Let's use this one. Mo ni ato ang original equation, which is P P is equal to 44D. Okay, atong gipangita is si D man na pod. So atong i-divide both sides by 44. 44, 44. So cancel. So we have here D is equal to P over 44. So substitute na to si P, makakuha na taog value ni D. Makita na to ang ato ang D. Muna siya dira. So have here a note. D is equal to P over 44. So that is the inverse of P is equal to 44D. So nagamitan dyan po nato siya og inverse function. Okay. So to find the inverse of the a relation given by an equation in x and y, switch the roles of x and y in the equation, and so on. So mga to itong ipangbuhat. This is a summary of the procedure for finding the inverse. Kato ganiha, i-replace ang f of x by x, interchange, and so on. So in example 2, we learn that the inverse of the function f of x is equal to 3x plus 6 is the function denoted by f inverse of x is equal to x minus 3 over 2. So let us remain the function f inverse of x by g of x. Hence, we can say that the function of f and g are inverses of each other. So we say daw that the function of f and g inverses siya sa each other. So ang isa, inverse siya sa isa, ang isa, inverse po siya sa isa. So we must show that the domain of f becomes the range of g, and the range of f becomes the domain of g. So notice that the function of f thus what the function of f does. The function of g and does, we can also derive this relation from the given function. So we have here f of g of x is equal to g of f of x is equal to x. So kanidiri siya, f of x o tayo siya. Pero ang atuang x, gisubstitutan na to sa value ni g of x. Muna yung atuang composition. Diba, nag-discuss sa composition of function last time. Ibalik na po nato siya diri sa inverse of function. So just like this example, to show that the relation holds, we solve f of g of x is equal to, so ato ang equation, so to, 2x, diba? Our domain is f of x is equal to 2x plus 3. So we have 2x plus 3, and also our g of x is x minus 3 over 2. So substitute the value of g of x to the given equation. So our given equation sa f of x na to is 2x plus 3. So ang x, ilisa na to og value ni g of x, which is x minus 3 over 2. So muna isolve na to, 2 times x, 2x. 2 times negative 3 is 6 over 2. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. So nasa 1x. So we have here x. 2 times negative 3, pila. So 2 times negative 3 is negative 6 divided by 2 is negative 3. Or simply cancel negative 2, ay positive 2 and positive 2 here. So we've come up with x minus 3. And also copy plus 3. Kaya wala man siya gibuhat diya sa last. So negative 3 plus 3 is equal to 0. So nabili na to sa f of g of x is equal to x. And also for the second one, g of f of x, ang g na pod mo ay ato ang original equation nga gisubstitutan og value ni f of x. So ato ang value sa g of x is equal to x minus 3 over 2. So ato ang x isubstitutan ni f of x. We have here f of x. So ato ang f of x is 2x minus 3 ay plus 3. So 2x plus 3 minus 3 over 2. So 3 plus 3. So it is equal to 0. So nabili na lang nato is 2x over 2. 2x divided by 2, cancel si 2, cancel si 2. We have here x. Since this the same ang answer ni f of g of x o ni g of f of x, same siya x. Therefore, they are inverse of each other. So si f of g of x inverse siya ni g of f of x. Or si g of x inverse ni f of x. That's it. So just like this illustration here. Okay. Property. The two function f and g are inverses of each other if the f of g of x is equal to x for every x in the domain of g, and also the g of f of x is equal to x for every x in the domain of f. So that's it. So kung f of g of x is equal to g of f of x is equal to x, or if g of x is equal to f inverse of x, then f of f inverse of x is equal to f inverse of f of x is equal to x. Paglibog mo. Basta kay inag-equal gani sila, inag-solve nimo, pangitaw ng inverse of each other, equal sila x, x. Inverse sila sa each other. Mora na siya. Pero di na mo maglibog-libog. All you just need to do is solve for their composition of functions. Next is example number 7. Show the following functions and inverses of each other. So just like this one, let's see if f of x, oh my god, let's see if f of x is an inverse of g of x and vice versa. So we find the composite function of f of g. So our f of x is 2x plus 5. So substitute the value of g of x, which is 1/2 x minus 5. So 2 times 1/2 times x minus 5. So cancel na to si 2, 2. So we have here, 1 naman na mabilin. Same na siya ganiha nga over 2 na siya. Buskag lang siya. So x minus 5 over 2 na siya. Mga to mas sayo na. X over 5, x minus 5 over 2. Cancel na to si 2. We have here x minus 5. Copy na po na to si 5. Kaya siya ibuhat dyan sa gilid. So negative 5 plus 5 is equal to 0. So we have the answer of f of g of x, which is x. And also next one, we have the composition function of g of f. So g of f of x, substitute the value of 2x plus 5 to the x of g. So 1/2 here mo ni ang iyahang f of x, which is 2x plus 5. So 5 minus 5, 0. So we have here 2x, diba? 1/2 times 2x. So si 2x, cancel na to si 2, 2. Okay, may more man siya. Ato na po i-simple iyang form ha. 2x over 2. So on 2x over 2, cancel na to si 2. Excuse me. Nahimo na lang siya x. So our g of f of x is equal to x. So since the f of g of x is equal to the g of f of x, which is x, then f and g are inverses of each other. That's it. Mara siya ka-simple. So let's go to graph of inverse function. So the graph of the inverse is the reflection of the graph of the original function. The axis of symmetry is the line y is equal to x. So nag-i-graph daw na to ang inverse function. Mahimo lang siya og reflection sa original na function. Just like this one. First example, gi-graph na to ni nga points or kani nga mga lines. Point pa ni siya, wala ni siya line. Okay, gi-graph na to siya nga point. So we have here 6, 4, atong 6, 4, 6, 4. Diba? 6, 4, 4, 3, 2, 2, 0, 1, and negative 2 and 0. Are the reflection of 4, 6 daw, 4, 6, 3, 4, 2, 2, 1, 0, and 0, negative 2. So ato siyang ipon siya sa isa ka graph. As you can see, dara, na siya yung line of symmetry which is y is equal to x. So as you can see, ang 4 og 6 and at 6 and 4 is just a reflection. Diba? Ga-reflect, more siya ga-reflect sa pikas. Na, as you can see, si 3 and 4, 4 and 3, same ra gyapon sila. Na sila yung line of symmetry sa center. So kung sami na siya, like for example, ikaw, manamin ka, same ra ang inyong reflection. So just like this one, ang iyang graph sa original o sa inverse, reflection ra siya sa usag-usa. Another example, let's find another example na. Just like this one, gigraph na to ang y is equal to 3x plus y and x is equal to x minus y minus 1 over 3. So this one is the graph of y is equal to 3x plus 1. And the second one is the graph of y is equal to x minus 1 over 3. As you can see, dara, giipo na siya, gatagbo sila, di ba? Gatagbo sila. But then there is a line of symmetry here nga nagtunga sa ilang duha which is reflection ra gyapon sila sa usag-usa. Mo na gikuan nga ang inverse sa usa is ang reflection ra sa iyang original nga function. Okay, na siya line of symmetry which is y is equal to x. Next, this one. 2x plus 5 and 1/2 x minus 5. As you can see, gigraph na to siya, na po siya line of symmetry. Inag-i-fold ni mo na siya, klaro kaayo nga the same ra gyapon sila. Reflection ra gyapon. Just like this one. It is just a reflection. BA is just a reflection of AB. which has a line of symmetry, which is y is equal to x. So in general, we have the following. The reflective property of the graph of f and f inverse. So the graph of the inverse of f can be found from the graph of f by locating the mirror image of each point of f with respect to y is equal to x. So we say that the graph of f and its inverse f inverse or f raised to the power of -1 have symmetry about the line whose equation is y is equal to x. Just like this one. Kani, gigraph na to. Gigraph. O, mara siya vase. Unsa ba na siya? Mara siya katong bulak na pitcher plant. O, mara siya pitcher. Okay. So we have here a line of symmetry. So as you can see, reflection ra gyapon siya sa pikas. Na reflection ra siya. So muna yung inverse. This one, example number 8. If f is one-to-one function for which f of 1 is equal to 6, f of -4 is equal to 11, f of 8 is equal to 3, find the f inverse of 11, f inverse of 6, and f inverse of 3. So because f is one-to-one function, then it has an inverse. Since the inverse interchanges x and y variable, then f inverse of 11, so kung f inverse of 11 is equal to -4. F inverse of 6 is equal to 1. F inverse of 3 is equal to 8. One-to-one function have inverses. Always remember, the dollars to peso function is an example of one-to-one function. So a function that is not a one-to-one has an inverse, but the inverse is a relation rather than a function. So the quadratic function is an example of a function that is not one-to-one. So a quadratic function is an example of a function that is not one-to-one. So example number 9, the function defined by f of x is equal to 2.2x converts a weight of x kilograms into f of x pounds. So find the equivalent weight in pounds for a 56 kilogram boy. Find an equation defining y is equal to f inverse of x and use the equation in B to find the equivalent weight in kilogram of 120 pounds boy. So first is we have here the solution. So find the equivalent of 56 kilograms. So we have here the equation which is f of x is equal to 2.2x. So ang atuang x is dara, si 56. So just like this example, f of 56 is equal to 2.2 times the x which is 56. So 56 times 2.2, the answer is 123.2. So our f of 56 is 123.2. Thus, 56 kilogram is equal to 123.2 pounds. Next for B, find an equation defining y is equal to f inverse. So y is equal to 2.2x. So gi-change na to si f inverse of y. Next, interchange si x ug si y, gi-interchange na to, nahimo siya x, nahimo na po siya y dire. So next is ato ang i-cancel out si 2.2. So divide na to, divide. So gi-divide na to sila, naatay answer. Wala na klaro. So divided by 2.2, so our y is equal to x over 2.2 or f inverse is equal to x over 2.2. That is the answer of letter B. The next one is use the equation in B to find the equivalent weight of kilograms of 120 pounds. So substitute na to ang value ni 120 pounds boy. So ato ang f inverse of x, ato ang x value is 120. So substitute to the equation which is x over 22, ang x gilisa na to 120 kay mao may value na to pangita. So 120 divided by 2.2, we have f inverse of 120 which is 54.5. So thus 120 pounds boy is equal to 54.5 kilogram Okay. So ang boy daw is 54.5 kilogram lang. So that's it. So you're going to answer the activities given. First activity is you're going to explain to me what do you mean by the inverse of a function in your own words only, okay? When it when is this inverse of a function? Kano sa man siya mahimong inverse of a function? How to determine and so on and so on. And next for the depend part, which has a title of am I a function? So we have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're going to find the inverse of each function. Tapos i-state ninyo whether the inverse is function or not. So if it is a function, write function. If it is not function. Okay? So next for the activity 3, find my inverse. Okay, pangitaw na po nimo ang inverse ani niya, i-solve ninyo. Nato step sa taas, kato i-change ang f of x og y, tapos interchange si y og si x, and so on. Same ra sila. And for the transfer part, activity 4, can you graph? You're going to construct a table of values and graph the function f. Then determine whether the inverse of f is a function. So kani inyong i-graph, you can use GeoGebra for graphing, but then maglisod gyapon mo kay mangita man mo sa table of values. So mangita mo table of values niya, na-graph niyo sayon ba kay na siya. Dali pa na. Unsa ang table of values? Okay. Namuta na mo unsa ang table of values. The table of values is just like this one. Nakadiscuss sa punta na last time na sa atong module, last module. So, di na mo maglisod. Okay, katura, i-graph din ninyo, then i-determine ninyo whether the inverse of f is a function, kung function ba siya, using the horizontal line test or by looking at the table of values only, kung nabay gabalik-balik nga value ni y or wala. And for the fifth activity, the last activity is problem solving. You're going to solve this problem. So the problem is the function y is equal to 150 plus 50x. Describes the hourly wage, which is denoted as y of a math tutor earning a flat fee of 150 plus 50 for each student the tutor assists during that hour. So you're going to find the inverse of the function. So pangitaw na rin nyo diretso ang inverse of the function. And that's it. Congratulations for finishing this module. See you again next week. God bless. Bye. Always remember, the pain you feel today will be the strength you'll have tomorrow. From Ken Kaneki of Talk You Go. Bye.